Fox 2 News has investigated several panhandlers in the Salt Lake Valley, only to find out that most of them are not really down and out like they claim to be.
3 weeks ago, we uncovered the apparent scheme of a young woman who at times could make up to $50 an hour and then return to her home in Sugar House. And tonight, there's a twist to her story.
Yes, our Mike Hedrick again on the case tonight, investigating. Joining us live, Mike, first of all, is this woman that you showed us the first time around still panhandling?
Yeah, well, Mark and Shauna, it seems for the last few weeks we have been following and we have continued to watch Megan Elmer. And it appears, after the story we did on her, she has stopped panhandling, at least for now. But as we also discovered, she may actually be supporting it in a different way.
Toss a glance to the side of the road and the remnants have not gone away. But take a closer look at the I-80 off-ramp to 1300 East. And there is something visibly missing. For months, in this spot,
I'm a girl, it's really hard to be out here.
21-year-old Megan Elmer stood for a countless number of hours. The character she played,
What are the shelters like?
They're not fun.
was that of a stranded young woman, begging for money, trying to get home to Seattle. But as we discovered, her story,
You have nowhere to live.
was in fact a blatant lie. With her sad looks and plea for help, Megan is believed to have conned hundreds of Utahns out of thousands of dollars. And at the end of the day, she and a friend would walk back to her house just a few blocks away.
Could she get a job? I mean, is there something wrong with her that she couldn't get a job?
I don't know. If you don't want to, you don't want to.
Megan's fraud was exposed on 2 News just a few weeks ago. 6 days later, she was off the corner. But there was a familiar face actively taking her spot. His name is Josh Coey, and for the 5 weeks that we followed Megan around, he was right by her side. They left the house together and they came back together. And according to Josh, he pays rent to stay there. But while Megan hustled for cash,
What's the most you made today?
Maybe 80.
Josh appeared to have a very different job. He would sit on the sidelines and simply watch.
He's nice. He protects me, you know. He takes care of me.
With Megan's facade publicly uncovered, the two appear to have gone to Plan B. They have now switched roles, making certain that the money is still coming in. Josh has become the breadwinner, flying the homeless sign, as Megan now watches on, paying him the periodic visit. And if you question Josh and his cardboard story,
I'm not lying to people.
I'm not lying.
the rhetoric you begin to hear
I'm being straight up honest with you.
I'm being honest, you know.
may start to sound vaguely familiar.
Now, I've been trying to get a job. It's hard.
If I could have a job, I'd have a job.
Megan lied through her teeth. For 15 minutes I interviewed her, and she lied the whole time. So why am I supposed to believe you?
You don't have to.
Because it's not panhandling. It's fraudulent conduct.
Sim Gill is chief prosecutor for Salt Lake City and says while panhandling itself is not against the law,
There is a law that would be applicable under the right circumstances.
lying about your situation to get somebody else's money can in fact get you into trouble with both the city and the state.
Under the city ordinance, it's unlawful for any person by false or fraudulent representation to obtain from another person any money or goods or anything like that with an intent to defraud them.
With that said, are Josh and Megan breaking the law?
Are you homeless or are you lying to people?
Well, in Josh's mind, he is a victim of circumstance. Nearly 8 years ago, he pleaded guilty to burglary and tampering with stolen evidence. And while that can make it hard to find employment,
What's keeping you from getting a job?
I broke my back a couple years ago. Do you want to look into that?
it is the alleged lingering injury that may be a tough sell, especially when you see him running through city streets and huffing around that big old backpack.
It's pretty frustrating. I don't like this situation I'm in job until this last few months.
Whether or not that is true, we really can't say. What we do know is that Megan is not stranded and Josh is not homeless. And as long as people continue to give in to their lies,
I'm not lying to people.
there may be absolutely no reason for this dishonest couple to work an honest paying job.
I don't make anybody give me money, nor would I lie to get money.
And homeless advocate Pamela Atkinson says that more than 70% of the people who are panhandling are not actually in the situation that they claim to be. So the question's raised, how do you know? If you see someone on the side of the road, said they're homeless, said they're trying to get somewhere, how do you know if that actually is the case? Well, she says you're not going to know. So give that money to someplace that you know is going to use it, and it's going to go to people who are in need, like a homeless shelter, a soup kitchen, a charity, a church, any place like that you know is going to help these people out. Back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. You know, the sad thing is, Shauna, there's a lot of people out there that do need the money and are down and out. And it makes you, as somebody who wants to give, who has a big heart, it makes you think twice, and that's the sad thing about all this.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing we can be real